wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Proverbs. In. How long wilt thou be drunken? Put thy wine away from thee. The Book of Samuel. In.
What happened to the Karachi, George?
Was that the bloke with the ghost legs doing naughties?
Well, you might describe it like that.
The chairman had it put away. He reckoned it might cause embarrassment.
Did he really?
Your wife gets everything. Weekends, holidays abroad, bloody Christmas.
She's given me the best years of her life.
She's given them to someone. I mean, she certainly hasn't got them anymore.
Sat here frolicking with a young female fawn.
Really, please, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Karachi drawing, it's not in the viewing gallery.
I know. I've had it removed.
You've bought it then. Congratulations. It's a beautiful thing, chock full of life, love, and the pursuit of happiness.
I didn't say I bought it. I said I'd had it removed.
May a simple-minded art expert ask why?
My wife found it offensive.
Oh, well, of course. That explains it.
Ludovico Carracci, born in Bologna in the 16th century, a master of chiaroscuro, a warm, passionate painter of religious works, with an occasional happy pagan subject. What did her ladyship find to criticize exactly?
It wasn't so much what she said.
Wasn't it?
It was more the way she looked. She obviously found it deeply offensive. She stared at it for a long while.
Your wife thoroughly enjoys being upset, does she?
She speaks for the general public.
Of course, the voice of a nation.
I thought she didn't speak about it at all.
She didn't need to. I knew her thoughts. People would take exception to that karate, whatever it is.
Karachi is about making love, not Japanese boxing. Oh, for God's sake, the satyr's not doing anything the general public doesn't do every Sunday afternoon or Thursday if it happens to be bath night.
We can't display everything just because it's a work of art. The public wouldn't stand for it.
Oh, the Puritans have come back to plague us.
No one could describe me as a Puritan, could they?
You remember what the Puritans did? They knocked all the willies off the statues in the British Museum. You know what they've got there now? Drawers and cupboards full of broken off willies.
Really, Glacier? I do have more important things to do.
And now they want to put them back. They simply can't remember which one belongs to which statue. All those terribly educated young people. I say, Samantha, yes, Simon, does this willie belong to Hercules or Apollo? Bloody Puritans, they confuse the whole issue.
Come in.
Might I have a word, Lord Chairman?
Yes, of course. What is it?
We worked out our art sales throughput as a percentage of personnel input and software contribution and came up with a brand new management oversee on staffing levels.
I say, Shirley, are you speaking any known language? May I borrow your loo?
No.
Beautiful stuff.
What's so good about it?
Petrus, 1961.
Well, I can't see that it's beautiful. If I showed you a Matisse or a Rembrandt drawing, you'd know what you were getting. Immediate pleasure. All your offerings are black bottle with a dirty old label. Can't we have a swig or something?
You certainly can't.
Not even if I put in a bid for it?
Certainly not if you bid for it. We wouldn't let you open the case. You wouldn't even be allowed to go and visit it in the vaults.
Well, how would I know that it was Petrus 19, whatever it is?
Because of the label. And because, well, you just have to trust me. Maggie, I know I cut a few corners over the Bronzino business, but you've had nothing to complain of since then, right?
Oh, yes, I have. I've a great deal to complain of. I don't know why I'm still speaking to you.
Oh, come off it. You called into the wine department entirely of your own free will.
Oh, it's contemptible. I gave up smoking, for God's sake. How can I be so entirely weak-willed as to want to light you up again? You ought to have a government health warning on you.
Should I really? That's the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Well, don't let it go to your head.
I mean, you don't have to give me up entirely. You could cut me down to just a couple after dinner.
ridiculous.
Or maybe even one before lunch.
For heaven's sake, it's going on everywhere, except in the walls of the viewing gallery. I thought you were here. Your secretary, little Miss Snotty, told me you were in a meeting. I thought you'd been meeting someone in the wine department.
I was just showing Maggie our wonderful haul of Petrus 61.
Were you really?
You interested? It's a snippet around 850 quid a bottle. No? You're sticking to Scotch ale. How sad.
I've come to tell you we've been taken over by the Puritans.
Ben, what are you talking about?
No, nothing much. Only that the Lord Chairman censored the Karachi satire frolicking. Rather, his wife has. Bloody woman in a hat who thinks I came with the catering. Last time she had lunch here, she met me in the stair and complained about the vichyssoise.
What's he done with the Karachi?
The satyr's still having it off with the young fawn. Now he's doing it in the chairman's bog. From now on, it seems, in Klinsky's art house, pleasure is out.
Not for all of us.
You be careful, Nick Roper. Our good Lord Chairman may censor you, even though you do keep your goat's legs neatly tucked away in your Savile Row trousers. It's not all on again, is it, Maggie? You and the noisome Nick. Don't tell me you're an item once again.
I suppose it's on the cards.
What is? Warning of forthcoming disaster.
Oh, you do exaggerate sometimes, Ben.
Exaggerate? After the exhibition you made of yourselves in the wine department. Absolutely disgusting.
You are an extraordinary chap.
Oh, you've noticed that?
You rail at the chairman for hiding the Karachi. You think the walls here should be covered with full frontal drawings of satyrs and female fawns. You see me and Nick in a modest clinch, and you behave like Queen Victoria confronted by a male stripper performing in the Albert Hall.
It wasn't because you were kissing. It was because you were kissing a cad. That satyr may have had a high degree of testosterone, but he wasn't necessarily a cad.
Well, neither's Nick. Necessarily.
Come on, Maggie, pull the other one.
Perhaps he's changed. You do believe people can change, don't you?
Not really. They just grow older and more irresponsible.
Speak for yourself.
St. Anthony in his cell, struggling against temptation.
Where are you going?
Back to my cell.
Mr. Glazier. You won't remember me, sir, though we have met. I've always been a great admirer of yours. Your article on Old Gods and New, the pagan content in the religious art of the Italian Renaissance.
That goes back a few years.
Been my constant bedtime reading. I go back a few years too. I'm not a renowned expert like yourself, Mr. Glazier. A humble dealer, sir, in a very small way of business. The name's Johnston. Christened Oscar William Leonard, and therefore known in the profession as Owley. A play on my initials, you see. I take it in good part most of the time.
Very amusing. What can I do for you, Mr. Johnston?
Condiments, Mr. Glazier.
I'm sorry.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Condiments, pepper, salt and mustard. You think I'm mad, don't you, Mr. Glazier? You think I'm eccentric. But didn't a certain great sculptor make a salt cellar for the King of France?
Cellini.
None other than that famous rogue womanizer and sword fighter Benvenuto Cellini. You know your Italian Renaissance inside out, no one better.
The salt cellar? You mean the one in Vienna?
In Vienna, is it? Why don't you call at my business address? At your own convenience, Mr. Glazier, entirely at your convenience, and satisfy your curiosity.
Hello, Nick Roper. Hello. More Petrus. Fine, good. Well, round to the vaults as usual. Of course we should meet. The club? Absolutely fine. Oh, well done.
You up to something?
I very much hope so.
Who with?
You, of course.
Come in, Mr. Glazier. Come in, sir. You're very welcome. This is Lenny from next door.
Hi.
I have an interest in his little printing business. You might not think it to look at him, but Lenny knows his printing. This is a famous art expert from Klinsky's, the great auction house. Lenny knows all there is to know about works of art.
Oh, Klinsky's. Isn't that where that job of...
Oh, I don't think so, Lenny. I think you're confused with all the work we get in. Mr. Glazier's here for something a good deal more interesting than having a few business cards run off. Lenny's thick as two short planks on the subject of art, but he knows his printing. Say good day to Mr. Glazier, Lenny.
Good day, Miss Glazier.
Yes, pleased to meet you.
That was good of you. That pleased to meet you. Not meant, of course. There's not much pleasure for an expert of your standing meeting a person as thick as Lenny. But he's a good boy in many ways. Now then, let me introduce you to the object in question. Yes, I depend a good deal on Lenny. He can print up anything, and he minds the shop for me when I'm out on a sweep. Only once in a lifetime. Once or twice, perhaps. I remember that picture I picked up down the Caledonian. Sir Joshua Reynolds. But no one else could see it. But this particular treasure trove, really, there can be no doubt about it. Amazing preservation of a beautiful object of art, wouldn't you say?
Silver. The King of France's salt cellars gold.
This one was made by Cellini for another customer. A dummy run. That's what it was.
That's your story.
I've read a bit about Benvenuto. Nothing to match your expertise, of course, sir. But from what I get from his writing, he made a wax model of this particular condiment and flogged versions around.
If it is his work,
Which you think it might be.
if pigs could fly.
Oh, come on, Mr. Glazier. Confess you're interested.
Which particular lorry did it drop off?
You're not suggesting a work of art of this distinction's going to be carried about on lorries.
And who did you get it from?
Silence on that subject is as sacred to me as the secrets of the confessional.
I'm sorry, Your Eminence. You'll have to let us know sooner or later.
It's old, isn't it? Anyone can see that.
As to the period, I could take it in for an opinion from our silver lady. We'll keep it safe for you.
A silver lady? You got one of those, have you? Like this little bird on here.
Not much. Her name's Dorothy Entwistle, and her husband's a judge, so you better watch your step. She'd want to know where you got this desirable object.
It's part, sir, of the collection of a gentleman.
We booked a table, 9 o'clock. It's just not bloody good enough.
Well, there are other people waiting, sir.
We're not other people, are we? We're us.
For God's sake, Nick.
Come on, darling. She's going to help us. Now, look. You know we only come here because you're so gorgeous.
It's the couple in the corner. They got their bill ages ago.
Right, Max. Forward march.
Nick, we can wait.
No need to talk. I say, are you planning on spending the night here?
Hello, you two. Gosh, lovely to see you. Oh, we were just off, but why didn't you let us buy you a drink? We'd love that, wouldn't we, Bernard?
Well, I expect they'd rather be on their own.
They wouldn't. They see each other all day long anyway. Pull up a couple of chairs, Nick. Oh, Maggie, love that jacket. They put really good things in the Harvey Nick sale these days, don't they? This isn't your local, is it?
No, it's Nick's.
We didn't know that. God, if we'd known that, Bernard would never have brought me here. Normally only takes me to places where I won't be seen by another human being. Don't you, darling?
I read a write-up about this little spot in one of the Sundays. I thought it sounded fun.
No, you didn't. You thought it sounded like the type of place your wife's friends wouldn't ever come to. This girl speaks French. 4 pastis, s'il vous plaît, chérie? Large ones.
I hope you'll excuse us. I don't think we've really got time.
Of course we have, darling. The night is young. Bernard's still a bit jumpy. In case we run into Muriel. Story of my life. Isn't it, darling?
Well, Roper...
Nick, darling. His name's Nick.
Well, Nick, how are things in the wine department?
Very good, thank you, Lord Holloway.
Look, thank you, Bernard. We're all friends here. Friends and I'm more. Forget the handle to his name.
We just got hold of some Petrus 61, estimated at about 10,000 a case.
Petrus? I don't think we did that at Coming to the Garden Foods when I was chairman.
Oh, darling, do stop going on about coming to the garden foods. He's been banging on about coming to the garden foods all evening. I mean, it's not a very romantic subject, is it?
Oh, we have the auditors coming in tomorrow. Heavy day, and I'm really tired. I need to go to bed.
Being tired's such a rotten reason for going to bed.
I can't give either of you a lift, I suppose?
Well, actually, we haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, no, of course not. Well, it's been really a pleasure to meet you, and either way, there's no need to mention the
Because
fact...
Lady Holloway sometimes comes to lunch and somebody might say something to her.
Do come along, Camilla.
We haven't had our drinks yet.
I think you've had quite enough for one evening. Well, so long, you two. Don't stay up too late. Remember, work tomorrow. Well, come along if you want a lift, Camilla.
Benvenuto Cellini arrived in France in 1540 with the salt cellar unfinished. It was completed in gold in 42, was it?
1543.
I suppose he might have cast another version in silver. He said he'd make one for whoever was destined to possess it.
I bet he didn't think it would fall into the sticky hands of Ali Johnston.
And the provenance is?
Marque. Howley says to talk about it is to give away the secrets of the confessional.
Well, he's going to have to tell us sometime. As you know, the gold salt cellar is the supreme example of Renaissance work. Worth, oh, God knows how much. He's going to have to answer some questions.
I'll ring him tomorrow.
Please do. If it was made in England, it would have the lion's face, maker's mark, date letter, and all that sort of thing. Nothing like that in Italy. We just have to go by how it looks.
Well, how does it look?
What do you think?
I think it looks stunning.
Yes. God damn it, Ben. I think it looks right.
Mr. Glazier?
I was trying to ring Ireland. It was pretty important.
Poor old chap. He didn't deserve that, Mr. Glazier. I don't mind what he's done. He didn't deserve that treatment. You're welcome to step in here. Late last night. Police don't have a clue, did it? Ransacked the place. Well, not that they took much, apparently. Well, they got Al in intensive care. Oh, terrible times we live in, don't we, Mr. Glazier? It scares me to think about it. I'm lucky I don't have valuable objects like what Alan's got. I've only got me printing. But as I was saying, you never know these days, do you? Oh, I'm having a cup of instant to calm my nerves like. Well, care to join me, Mr. Glazier, in a cup of instant?
Yes, thanks. Thanks very much. I don't suppose you get any very special claret at 850 quid a bottle.
the other night.
Don't worry.
You probably didn't notice, but I had rather a lot to drink.
You amaze me.
I was a bit desperate. You see, I'm sick of keeping it a secret about me and Bernard. I mean, it's time people knew.
If it's any comfort, I think most people at Klinsky's have known for a considerable time.
Is that honestly true?
Almost everyone. I mean, there might be someone in antiquities that hasn't heard. No, I think I heard them discussing it over the necklace of Queen Hatshepsut.
I'm jolly glad.
What?
I'm glad everyone knows. And Muriel might get to hear of it, and he'd be forced to do something about it. Till it all comes out in the open, he just creeps around, scared that she'll find out.
Did look rather nervous.
Oh, yes. Sweet, isn't it? He's dead scared of Muriel, and he's dead scared of me. Poor darling. Like a rabbit, caught between the gun and the ferret. All big eyes and shaking with fear.
We are still talking about Bernard Holloway.
Of course we are. Wasn't such a pathetic, frightened little animal. I don't suppose I'd love him half as much. Oh, God, Maggie. Isn't life hell?
I told you the price. Do you want some for your cellar?
I'm thinking about it. Does look very convincing. Nicely stained label. But supposing it had been printed last week, dirtied down a little and stuck in a bottle of plonk.
It wasn't.
Wasn't it? Don't suppose you happen to know a little firm called Print You Like, with two characters called Lenny Lockyer and Owlie Johnston?
Of course not. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, by the way, Owlie had a nasty little accident. Did you hear about that?
What the hell are you suggesting?
Just a fairly simple fraud, that's all.
Fraud? No way. We know exactly where this wine came from.
Oh, yes, where exactly?
The cellar of a gentleman.
Does this gentleman have a name?
He does, but he doesn't want me to divulge it.
All the same. Divulge.
I couldn't. You know that, Ben. It would be like giving away the secrets of the confessional.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Owlie was very keen on the secrets of the confessional, too. It's so convenient. For crooks.
You have had no joy in your life. But wait, Uncle Vanya. Wait. Maggie, I've got Sonia and Uncle Vanya at the Lame Duck in Hounslow. You will come and see it, won't you?
I'm sure we will.
Maggie.
Ben, I'm terribly late.
To speak to you at once. I made an extraordinary discovery.
What, the salt cellar? Dorothy Entwistle told me. Could it possibly be right?
No, not the salt cellar. This is something far more important than the salt cellar. It's about your little friend.
Which little friend?
Dick Wilfer, the elegant, no good in pig artist.
Shut up, Ben. Do you want everyone in Klinsky's to hear you?
But it's true. I know about Nick.
I know about him too, perfectly well. Do you think I've got illusions about Nick? I've got no illusions. Takes life as it comes. Thinks it's all a bit of a joke. Slightly mad, quite dangerous to know, and he may have sailed rather close to the wind during the Bronzino business, but he is not a faker.
I told you. Muriel's back at the weekend.
Poor sweetheart. Is that very scary for you?
She'll want to come to one of our boardroom lunches. And if Maggie Perrone or Nick Roper have told anyone about that unfortunate encounter...
You mean the night we bumped into them?
I'm very much afraid that...
I know, darling. You usually are very much afraid, but you're not to worry.
Aren't I?
I had breakfast with Maggie. I made quite sure she and Nick won't say anything.
Oh, you did? You're so wonderful.
Yes, I am, aren't I?
Lord Chairman?
Yes, Shrimsley, what is it? Hold on a minute. It's Shrimsley. He mustn't see you in the room.
I'll go then.
No, not through the door. He'll see you.
Then where?
In the toilet.
Do I have to?
I'm very much afraid.
Oh, do give up being very much afraid. It may be the death of you.
All right, Shrimsley. Come in. I don't know what you're doing hanging about out there.
Oh, for God's sake, Ben, all right. Some crook's been printing Petra's labels. How many wine dealers are there in the world?
Some crook who's got a connection with Klinsky's. His partner came here with a salt cellar.
That doesn't prove a thing.
And when I asked your little friend...
He's quite big, actually.
When I asked your big friend where his source of Petra 61 came from, he didn't dare tell me.
He didn't want to tell you.
Comes to the same thing.
No, it doesn't. You know why you're trying to rubbish Nick, don't you?
Why?
Because you're jealous.
I'm what?
Well, perhaps a little jealous.
You mean I'd like to be a hooray Henry, an old public school yobbo? An overprivileged prat with less idea of morality than a pimp doing the 3-card trick in Brighton racecourse. Jealous of Nick? Why should I be jealous?
Because we're having an affair. Oh, I wish you could understand, Ben. I do love you in some sort of a way. I don't know, it's probably a much better sort of love than what I feel about Nick. I don't know how to say this. You haven't got a cigarette, have you? No, well, that's all right then. It's just that there's something about Nick I can't actually give up. He may have behaved badly once, but now I can tell you he's going straight.
Are you really sure about that?
By the way, Nick, about that Chateau Petrus.
What about it?
Well, where did it come from? I mean, it's a pretty rare vintage, isn't it? Which noble family's gone bankrupt? They might have a few old masters they want to flog. A Raphael in the wine cellar.
I thought I made it clear to Ben. I'm not telling.
I'm not Ben.
Oh, you're his mouthpiece, aren't you? His little ventriloquist dummy. See if you can get it out of him with those instructions.
All right. Ben has got some far-fetched idea in his head. He's suspicious.
Of me?
Well, yes.
Well, he would be. The old chap fancies you.
That's got nothing to do with it. I told him you weren't up to anything iffy. All you've got to do is tell him where it comes from.
I don't think my client would like that at all. Just tell old Ben Glazier to mind his own bloody business. Speed up, Mags, or would you rather jog with the elderly?
Nick?
Ben, Nick Roper speaking. Now, don't ring off in a huff or anything. I just think we should get together for, well, a bit of a heart-to-hearter. Morning.
Why on earth did you ask me to lunch at your club?
Why on earth did you accept? Will this do?
Out of curiosity, perhaps. I'm on a mission to find out much more about rare and fine wines. I'm after some of your secrets.
Oh, give it a rest, why don't you?
Why should I? Give me one good reason.
All this business about labels. You've got Maggie running after me asking questions. I asked you to lunch, Ben, to tell you to stop interfering. Because there's no real point, is there? You don't really want Maggie all to yourself. You wouldn't know what to do with her.
I suppose I could protect her.
From what?
Bad company.
She is grown up, you know. She's over 21. She holds down a pretty responsible job at Klinsky's. She's perfectly entitled to fancy who she likes. And there's one of the facts of life. You'll just have to get used to that she fancies me. So why don't you just lay off? Enjoy my bad company over a bottle of club claret and liver and bacon, I think, Gilbert, and bread and butter pudding to follow.
Anyone in particular died at Klinsky's recently?
Unfortunately not.
I'm Parsifal Mallows. I do the obituaries in the Informer. We specialize in reminding the world about the dear departed's little eccentricities and disgraceful scandals. Is there anyone with that sort of record in the art world been looking rather peaky recently? Well, tip me the wink if you think of anyone.
I'm afraid the one I'm thinking of is looking rather well at the moment. Out of the lamb cutlets, I think.
So what's it to be, Ben? Peace and goodwill all around?
That's a beautiful object. Not as beautiful as the one I came into Klinsky's the other day from another mysterious source.
Awful responsibility, Silver. Got to have a chap in the pantry going over it again and again with an old toothbrush.
Hello, Bertie.
Who's that? My eyes on what they were. Is that young Roper?
That's right, Bertie. This is Ben Glazier, Bertie Wednesbury.
Glazier? Not Shropshire at all.
The Glasgow Glaziers.
We had a lot of silver once. Lost it all, unfortunately, during the war.
You were bombed out?
Bombed? Good God, they didn't have bombs in the war when we lost half the Emily Silver. Pikes and helmets. Well, a few muskets, I suppose.
I think Bertie's talking about the Civil War, you know, Cavaliers and Roundhead.
That's right. Charles I versus Oliver Cromwell. Roundheads? Oh, I don't know about Roundheads. Bloody Puritans, that's what I call them. Killjoys, party poopers. You don't like Puritans, do you, Glazier?
As a matter of fact, I can't stand them.
Good man. I say, Roper, your friend says that he doesn't care for Puritans. Well, let me tell you the whole history of my family. The curse of the Wednesburys. Cavalier husbands married to killjoy Puritan wives, and that don't lead to a happy home life.
You were telling us about your silver.
Ah, yes, before the bloody Puritans got at it. Well, my ancestor, Henry Wednesbury, was a very close friend of Charles I, who was a great collector, as you know. They got on like a house on fire. Well, of course, Henry's wife didn't like it. She was of the praise God and shut up on Sunday school of thought. Women like that can't stand anything beautiful.
I have to go upstairs to the wine committee. Can you find your way back to Klinsky's?
I think I might manage that. Thanks to lunch anyway. It was extremely interesting.
Does that mean you're going to stop filling Maggie's head full of unnecessary suspicions?
Of course, I'll just stick to the necessary ones.
I'll see you later.
We can't stay here and drink. Not all afternoon. Someone's bound to notice and report back to the leader of the opposition. Look here, why don't come and spend a happy hour at my other club?
Your other?
Monica's Bar, Frith Street. Very discreet. Hard to get in there, it isn't in Brussels. Good atmosphere, not Puritan. Not a word to Pamela.
I don't suppose you'd drink Petrus 6-1 at Monica's.
Petrus of Monica's? Not bloody likely.
I'm afraid I've got to get back and work.
Puritan. Never mind, another time perhaps. Monica's Bar. I'm there most afternoons when I'm up in town. There we are. Just mention my name.
Thanks.
He actually bought you lunch?
Oh, yes.
Well, he paid?
I suppose so.
He must be extremely fond of you.
Nonsense. It's a first sign of weakness. He knows I'm on to him. He's trying to find me off.
I told you, Nick's going straight.
Prove it.
All right, we'll prove it.
What, you and Nick Roper? That wouldn't be very satisfactory.
No, you and I. We'll find out about these damn wine labels. We'll clean up the salt cellar business. And we'll discover that Nick had absolutely nothing to do with either of them.
You want to bet? Your work?
Not too sure.
I am. I got it out of a box on your counter. 1961 wine printed now. Bit of an odd thing to do, wasn't it? Didn't it strike you as slightly strange?
That's the job the client ordered. That's the job I carried out.
So it is your work?
Well, I did the printing, yes.
And who's your client? And don't, for God's sake, give me any of that spiel about secrets of the confessional.
Was it anyone from Klinsky's?
Klinsky's?
Don't look so surprised. Remember when I first met you with Owley? Owley told you I was from Klinsky's. You started to tell us about some work you had done for us, and Owley shut you up pretty damn quick, as I remember.
Does the name Nick Roper mean anything to you?
Roper?
Yes.
No. No, that doesn't ring a bell at all.
There, you see.
Perhaps he didn't tell you his name, but he was from Klinsky's.
No. I didn't mean as we were printing for Klinsky's. I mean, the client reckoned he needed labels like that for something he was going to auction. Anyway, that's what Owley told me.
Owley told you that, did he?
Someone appears to have been contemplating a fraud by getting Klinsky's to sell wine with forged labels. If we can find out who this trickster is, we can go to the police and tell them. But at the moment, the only name we can give them, Mr. Lockyer, is yours.
Mine?
Get the big fish, and a little tiddler like you might be able to swim away and hide under the rocks.
I never dealt with the man, not personally.
The man?
Owley always dealt with him. It was always Owley.
Owley's in intensive care. He can't talk.
Owley always called him the captain.
That's not a great deal of help.
No, but I know where Owley went to meet the captain. He used to ring him up and tell him to get his skates on and come down.
Down where?
Some sort of afternoon drinking club down Soho. Owley said the captain's there most afternoons holding court.
Monica's club mean anything to you?
And you, sir?
Well, just a Scotch ale.
What are these people, Martin? Members of the Temperance Society?
Friends of the captain.
Oh, splice the mainbrace, grog all around. Isn't that more the captain's style? How do you know the captain? In the war? You a frog?
Actually, I'm Scottish.
Killingly funny. I meant, were you a frogman ever? A diver?
No, just a poor bloody infantryman.
Well, don't go on about it. Nothing more boring what some ancient fart did in the war. Packet of silk out then, Martin.
There's another friend of ours who's a member of this place.
This exclusive members' club, do you mind?
Lord Wettensbury.
Oh, you're Bertie's friend. You haven't got many. Pamela sees to that.
He was expecting him in this afternoon.
He rang for the captain. Seems his wife's poorly.
Oh, she's poorly. They're both poorly. Bloody stately home of theirs is mortgaged up to the chimney pots. Wednesbury Park. Sorry, I haven't been introduced. I'm Betsy Pitt Plummer.
Pitt Plummer? Didn't your family own a Rubens?
The wise virgin. Not a portrait of either of us, I'm afraid, darling. Oh, yes, I'm terribly top drawer. You rogering that young girl.
As a matter of fact, no.
I bet you wish you were.
Ah, Captain, there's friends of yours.
Friends of mine? Do I know you?
Well, perhaps not yet. We're also friends of Lord Wettensbury.
Bertie. You know, dear old Bertie, do you? Did he send you?
He said this was an excellent place for getting drunk in the afternoons.
Why only the afternoon?
His lordship's not coming. Your ladyship's ill. That was the message.
Oh, well, Bertie's not going to break his heart about that, is he? Not seeing as how she treated him. Know her too, I expect.
No, I haven't met her, but, I've met Owley Johnston.
Seem to have friends up and down the social ladder, you do.
Oh, yes, we get to know all sorts of people in our business.
What's your business?
The pursuit of beautiful objects is a pretty tough trade.
Harry's in hospital, isn't he? That's what we heard.
And we were wondering why. We were also wondering why you ordered a lot of wine labels to be printed for Petrus 61.
And whether the name Nick Roper means anything to you?
Wine labels. Is that what you came here about?
That's one of the things.
You came here to ask questions. Not to see me or your old friend, Bertie. This is a good place, this is. A nice, safe place. Except for people who come here asking questions. See to it, Robin. They've been taking liberties.
Charles I. Robin King, first-class patron of the arts. Bought as much as he could afford. Italian paintings and other Italian works of art.
Like silver?
Silver, yes. You look exhausted, Ben. Working hard?
Beyond the call of duty. I mean, I did spend all these years studying Piero della Francesca and the science of perspective to be chased through Soho by a frogman's bouncer.
What on earth are you up to?
Investigating the provenance of the salt cellar. But go on, did the king make presents of works of art?
Sometimes to people he stayed with, or to loyal cavaliers.
Or at least to husbands who were cavaliers. And when the Puritans took over, they got rid of the precious silver.
Anything they thought might strike them as ornate, erotic, and extravagant.
Yes. Well, make sure the Puritans don't get at the Cellini look-alike, whoever it really belongs to.
Locked up in the vaults. You can feel perfectly safe about it.
Yes, safer than I feel about myself. I've got to ask a few more questions.
Not in Soho.
No, not there, thank God. In the frightfully posh gentleman's club in St. James's.
Oh, I say, you're looking for Bertie?
Yes, I was.
Well, he's not coming up. Pamela's been taken ill. I bet Bertie hopes it's nothing trivial. Matter of fact, I've just been up in the library roughing out her obituary. You know the terrible thing she did to him?
No, I don't know.
Listen to this. I think you may enjoy it. Pamela Lady Wednesbury was one of the Northampton Wednesburys who fought for Cromwell in the Civil War, and she carried on the Puritan tradition of her ancestors. She disapproved strongly of drinking, smoking, and short skirts at Wimbledon, which she said had become more of a strip show than a decent sporting occasion. Recently, she had the entire contents of the famous Wednesbury Park cellar thrown into the lake, where some great vintages of classic wine still lie full Fathom 5. She's survived by her husband, Lord Herbert Bertie Wednesbury, who's never been known to object to drink and who had to witness the fate of an historic cellar. That's due to go in on Thursday.
So she's died?
Oh, no, but it's as well to be prepared.
Bertie,
Yes, dear?
you won't take wine after I'm dead, will you, Bertie?
No, Pam.
Promise?
Not a drop, Pamela, my dear. Not a drop shall pass my lips.
We give hearty thanks for that it hath pleased thee to deliver this our sister out of the miseries of this sinful world, beseeching thee that it may please thee out of thy gracious goodness shortly to hasten the number of those elect and to hasten thy kingdom, that we, with all those that are departed in the true faith of thy holy name, may have our perfect consummation and bliss, both in body and soul, in thy eternal and everlasting glory.
Lord Wednesbury, we're from Klinsky's, the auction house.
We'd like to have a few words with you on the subject of a serious wine fraud.
Before we go to the police.
The police? I recognize you. You're that chap Glazier I met at Brummels who don't like Puritans. I recommended my favourite watering hole.
You did that, and that's why we have to ask you some serious questions.
Oh, have you really? What a pity. I thought after Pam died I needn't do anything serious again. But, if you insist, I suppose. Yeah, anyway, do come in.
Lord Wednesbury.
We have reason to believe.
Good reason to believe.
Yes, excellent reason, that you put a large quantity of fine wine, including the Petrus, into our house for auction.
Well, of course I did. I'd like to drink it all, of course I would, but... Well, we live in hard times. The roof, the home farm, disaster. Terrible losses on the pigs. You don't know a decent pig man, do you?
Afraid not.
Bloody hypochondriacs pigs are always complaining there's something the matter with them. And finicky about their food. Malingerers is what I call them. We had a pig man, but he left us to go into the church.
Lord Wednesbury, we believe that you ordered a number of Petra 61 labels to be forged by a printer called Lenny Lockyer in London.
Hang on a minute. Not forged. I wouldn't say forged. I say done artistically to look like the real thing.
Why on earth did you do that?
Because all the old labels got washed away, of course. They got washed off when Pam chucked the cases into the lake. Well, she'll be happy now she's in heaven with all those bores drinking Diet Coke. You cannot imagine what it is like to have your entire cellar, brandy as old as Napoleon, port offered to Edward VII, all chucked in the bloody lake. Drowned. I'd rather have had Pam drown some of our ghastly relatives.
The Puritan branch of the family.
Yes, Cromwell's men. And women. The women were the worst.
So I suppose you hired the captain to dive for the booty.
You know the captain?
Yeah, rather too well.
Chap I knew was in the Navy. Banjo Buckleworth. Well, Banjo put me in touch with this frog fella. He did Banjo's petty officer, but always called himself the captain after the war. Gave himself promotion. A bit of a chancer, in my opinion. Well, he got hold of some divers who pulled the stuff out for me while Pam the Puritan was fast asleep. Never heard a sound from the lake. Terrible shame. Had to sell most of the stuff.
So what you sent to Klinsky's was genuine Petra 61?
Well, of course it was.
Our man in the wine department, Nick Roper, did he know anything at all about the forged labels?
Why should he?
That's exactly what we wanted to hear. Isn't it, Ben?
That's what you wanted to hear, anyway. Oh, we have some reason to think that claret wasn't the only precious thing that the captain and the frogmen fished out of the water.
Really?
Is your family a habit of throwing valuable items into the lake?
Now you come to mention it. Terrible, the Northampton branch of the family. My ancestor in King Charles's day married one of them, Lady Susanna. Well, he had a famous bit of silver done by some Italian fella. Very well known. Chap who murdered a few people and had lots of sex. Well, artists do, I suppose.
Murder people?
Have all this sex, models and all that type of thing. Well, it gives them the opportunity, of course. I've never gone in for all that. Anyway, this piece of silver, a mustard pot or some such thing.
Salt cellar.
You know a lot about it.
I know little.
Well, that bloody old god-bothering, Cromwell-loving Lady Susanna Wednesbury took exception to the Starker's lady carved on top of it and chucked it in the lake. Thing's gone forever now, of course.
Unless the captain dragged it from the bottom of the lake, safe in a steel box.
Good heavens. I thought he was a bit of a chancer.
You have to tell us what you'd like us to do with it.
Do with her? Silver Lady Starkers? Present to my holy ancestor who died at Naseby from King Charles the Martyr? I say, do you think we'll get a spot of cash for it?
Why is this door locked?
Muriel, is that you?
Of course it's me. I'm coming to lunch.
But you're early.
I got bored in Harrods. What on earth are you doing in there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Camilla, please.
What again?
What else can we do?
Then stop doing nothing and open this door. What on earth were you up to?
Trying to work. Without interruption.
Really, Bernard? What a funny little person you are.
To Klinsky's.
To
Klinsky's.
Isn't it absolute magic?
It is just like wine to me.
I am so glad I bought the Petrus. It will be on my dinner table in Hong Kong when some big communist cheese from Beijing comes to dinner.
And we might be able to take a bid from you for the Cellini salt cellar.
A Puritan threw it in her husband's lake. She disapproved of the naked goddess. Divers stole it, an antique dealer received it, knowing it was stolen, and passed it on to us to sell for his own profit. So he was beaten up. Crime, theft, and violence. All because a lady in the 17th century had absurdly strict standards of morality.
So it belongs to who?
Oh, to old Bertie Wednesbury. A fairly undeserving old cove.
The wine comes from his cellars, too, so it's got a perfectly genuine pedigree. To your extreme disappointment, Ben.
I mean, I'm disappointed because your wine department is actually honest.
Of course you are. So is Maggie, as a matter of fact. You quite like me to have a slightly dicey reputation, don't you, Mags?
Slightly dicey, I suppose, but not the whole game of backgammon.
I do hope you're right, Nick Roper. I do hope we proved you too virtuous to be interesting.
Bernard,
Yes, Muriel?
I passed through that gallery of lovely old drawings, and one of them was missing. The Sutter Frolicking.
Yes, indeed, Muriel. I saw the way you looked at it, and...
And what?
Well, we had it taken out of the public view. I thoroughly agree with you.
Do you? I'm so glad. It was such a lovely, happy thing. Nymphs and satyrs, thoroughly happy in the morning of the world. Where did you put it, Bernard? I hope it's somewhere where everyone can enjoy it.
Well, not everyone, not the general public. Only those lucky enough who happen to be taken short in the chairman's office.